Good afternoon, everybody. This is the brief word, prophetic word for today. God bless you. Thank you for praying for me. I feel a lot better. Thank you for the resources and the encouragement, the comments, the prayers. God bless you, every one of you. Thank you so much. Hey, with that being said, let's look at, as I do, this ministry does, we go into the Word of God, right? For a prophetic word, not an individual, maybe it is an individual word for someone, but a brief word or a prophetic word for someone. This prophetic word is going to be based in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. If you're actually writing notes down, I want you to go to those two scriptures. There's going to be a couple references for you to go read, and I'm going to just talk about interchangeably those two scriptures. It's going to be Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, and Nehemiah chapter 1. Nehemiah chapter 1. So we see in Deuteronomy chapter 8, 18, in the context, Moses is talking to the nation of Israel to worship and to serve God, and that when God does bless them and bring them into the land and do go into the promises that God has actually called them to, not to forget God, not to forget who brought them through the desert, through the Red Sea, into the promised land, and that God would bless them and establish them. And so that's a part of the stewardship that we remember, as in our relationship with God, that we are stewards over all that we have and all that we are and all that we can do. We are stewards as believers and followers of Jesus Christ. I've said that many times in these teachings, that we are stewards, not owners. We are stewards. We have been delivered really from the attitude and heart of wanting everything to be owned by us, to now in a position where we've been delivered and our eyes are open and we've been set free from darkness to light, from the power of Satan unto God. And now we live our lives by way of stewardship. It's not ours, it's God's, all of it. And so with that being said, we go over from Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 into Nehemiah chapter 1, and it uses an example of what it's going to look like when God actually moves someone from the smaller stewardship into a greater stewardship. You see the process in Nehemiah chapter 1, where Nehemiah heard about the city of Jerusalem. People came from the city of Jerusalem, told how bad it was. The people were there and they're really struggling, and the walls broke down. Everything's just in rubble. And that news broke Nehemiah's heart. And so God was beginning to thrust a responsibility or a greater stewardship on Nehemiah, because at that point, Nehemiah was just a cupbearer in Babylon, by the way, under the Medo-Persian Empire, the next empire after Babylon. And so it was at the end of the 70 years, and God had said, after 70 years, you're going to come back to the land. And so this is how God started it. And so the Lord put on the heart of a cupbearer, someone who was stewarding something that was just no more than a cup for the king's services. And now God says you're going to be thrust into this greater responsibility of building a wall. And look at the process. God doesn't thrust you from the cup, so to speak, holding that cup of stewardship, into the wall. There is a process. And be encouraged that you will see yourself go from the cupbearer to the wall builder. And if you are a steward over the little, God will give you much. But the process between the two is very gentle and gracious, according in the way that our God and King works, right? I hope this blessed you guys. Have a great day.